Yo, what up, y'all? It's your buddy Philko here, reporting live from Nationalist, Russia, doing my thing as usual, uploading a video while recording another video. And then this topic, I'm going to get to, I don't know what I'm going to call this video, but this video is going to basically be about, what the fuck, why'd I sign out? Jesus Christ. This video is basically going to be about my backing in Russia. Basically my backing, and right now I'm signing into my Google account, which is cool. I have a two-step verification, so like if someone stole my password, it won't matter in the end because you gotta have my cell phone as well, and you gotta know how to use the app, and it's timed, so this shit is beautiful. Hold on. And I'm in. And I'm in. Yes, and I'm in. It's beautiful. I love this app. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of be about, I guess you could say, my protection, my backing, my connections, whatever you want to call it, about me in Russia, because I'm not going to front. Like, I don't like giving nationalists, skinheads, whatever you want to call them, I don't like giving them compliments. But I can't front. There were two generally intelligent nationalists I've met while in Russia. One I met in the street, he knew English well, and he spoke to me like a fucking person about his problems and shit, and I was fucking impressed. And the other one seemed to even be more intelligent. He messaged me on Contacte, and we had a back and forth for like a week. And we were talking about things, and you know, he managed to be racist while trying to say like, I don't want to be racist, I just have to be racist for my country. You know what I mean? And we kind of went back and forth. But one thing that was very interesting that he said, because he was a smart guy, I can't front, he was a fucking smart guy, skinhead or not. He said some shit to me like, you know, the only reason why we don't fuck with you is because we know there's people behind you. We know there's people behind you. Like, most people see you, they basically see you on the camera. He's like, the only reason why is because we know there's people behind you. You know, because, like most people notice, like I'm sure he noticed, I don't come to Russia on vacation. You know, I come to Russia when I'm called to Russia. So whenever you see me in Russia, I'm doing business with somebody. No matter what. So, from my experiences, I've been to at least 25, 30 cities, so many I don't remember. 25, 30 cities, and I'll tell you this, depending on the city I'm in, the protection could be anywhere between, not just protection, like physical protection, but I mean like the power in which those people have I'm working with. Could be anywhere from like really nothing to a whole lot more than you've ever met in your life. So it depends. Like, it can go anywhere as high as a government, to some lady who has some money to spare and she wants to see me. It can be either way. And that lady has no connections, you know, depending on where I am. So right now I'm in Chelyabinsk. Right now Chelyabinsk is, I would say, the power source here altogether is relatively low. No. Actually here I have political protection. And we were talking about that yesterday, me and my dude. I was like, what if the police come, trying to deport me again, some shit. And he's like, don't worry about it, because we got somebody on our team, and I'm going to see somebody even more powerful Sunday who will protect me if needed. And so, yeah, I'm actually well protected in Chelyabinsk. I forgot about that. But in some places, I don't want to give this away because, like I'm dying to talk about it because it's very interesting. Because, like, in America, we always hear about, like, you know, okay, all right, let me be careful with my words. All right, hold up. We always hear about interesting Russian men who have power and are part of certain groups. Like, and I'm going to say this now, there's no way you can guess who or what city, but I've worked for a number of these people. You know, my tour is almost over. I want to finish. You know, if this video makes me look bad, whatever. My tour is over. I got 2 more contracts and I'm out of here. You know what I mean? So it really doesn't matter. I'm not really planning on touring again after this. So, you know, but at the same time, I'm not like trying to throw people's names out there. I'm just saying, you know. So it's like, depending on where I am, some of these people were very powerful people who weren't powerful because of the government. They were powerful because of themselves. They were self-made businessmen. Yeah, I worked for a few self-made businessmen, and like, I've been in some situations in this motherfucking out here in Russia where like, I was scared. And I was just nervous. Because I remember one time, the most dramatic night the most dramatic fucking 5 minutes of my life was when, because I was working for 2 people at this time. 2 different groups, let's say, 2 different groups. One group was of a certain sub-race of Russia, And the other group was of another certain sub-race of Russia. And where I was working in this city, they kind of interlapped. Like their territories or whatever kind of interlapped. So while I was working with this, and I didn't know this shit till I got there. Nobody told me shit. I didn't fucking know. You know what I mean? So I was working for this one side. And I got a call from the other side. I didn't know it was like kind of beefy. I didn't fucking know. So they called like, oh, we hear you in one of our cities. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing work. I was like, all right. We're going to come see you and pick you up. And I'm like, all right, what are you going to do? They're like, don't worry about it. We're going to pick you up. Now, these people who called me and said they're picking me up, I never said no to these people. So I'm like, all right, whatever, we're going to hang out. So I told my other dude, I'm going to hang out with these guys. He didn't seem to like it too much. He was like, hold up, I'm going to go talk to these dudes when they get here. This group pulls up. There's only one person. Because these people don't play. They don't need a lot of people. One person pulls up in his shit, nice ass car or whatever, and they like had words. They kind of get into it. And they're speaking... were they speaking Russian? I think they were speaking Russian. But they got into it and like, I had respect for both. Like, okay, I had a lot of respect for the side I was with at the time. Cause like, these people were like just mad cool. Like, well, but I ain't gonna front, they're well-known criminals. Well-known. But I had more respect for them. It wasn't necessarily fear, it was more respect just because, you know, we kind of understood each other on a person-to-person level. So criminal or not, like, we got along. You feel me? We got along. I'm not giving anything away, but we got along, right? The other people, I feared. I won't lie, I feared. I mean, we didn't really know each other on a people-to-people basis. We only knew each other in business. But they had more power, way more power, than a dude I knew on a person-to-person business and those people that he worked with. So they got into it, but luckily within like 5 minutes of the convo, we came to an agreement. We tried to chill, and as I left the city, they started working together. So they run that city now. Well, if it's English, I don't know, but they run that city now. I remember that shit. That shit scared the fuck out of me. We went to this place, yo, I'm gonna tell you just like this. There's places in Russia, where Russian women are not allowed inside. They have to stand outside and wait. I don't think Russian people know about this, because this place we went to, it wasn't, how do I put it? It wasn't advertised. Like, it didn't have awning or nothing. It was kind of like a secret place that only people who know about this place go. You know, they do shisha, hookah, whatever. All the Russian girls had to wait outside. Not in the cold, but like in the hallway. They weren't allowed into the place where we were. I don't think I was allowed into the place either, but at that time, I was working on a project with a certain person that everybody in there respected. That's the only reason I was in there. Once everyone in there realized who I was, because people were like, who's this guy? Who's this? And they tell them, they're all just like, oh, if you need anything, you call us. That's the only reason I was allowed in that motherfucker. But yo, all the girls for hours would just wait. Disciplined. These girls were disciplined. And I remember I had a girlfriend at the time. When I got home, I remember calling her. I was like, yo, sweetie, yo, I'm a little scared. I don't know exactly who I'm dealing with or what's going on. These people are real nice to me, I understand. But I think I'm getting in deep with something, and you know, I gotta kind of pull back and get out of it. I remember that shit. And what's crazier is the person who pulled up to come see me and had it with the other guy, whatever. I met him on the airplane when something just happened to be wrong with my seat. They had to put me in first class because something was wrong with my seat. They had to put me in first class, and I ended up right next to this guy. He's like, oh, I know who you are, blah, 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 blah. Yo, I got stories in Russia, but I gotta be careful with these stories because I'm gonna tell you something right now. And everyone kind of knows this. This is not speaking about anyone in particular, but Russia is a country where, how do I put it? Where self-made people can run things more usually than in America. Russia's way more about your connections than anything. It's about who you know and what they're capable of and what they can do, all that stuff, you know. It's way more about that rather than just, oh, the law this, the law that. Not so much, man. You know what I mean? So, like, if I just came here to visit, I wouldn't have to worry about none of that, you know, because I just be here, but I'm here on business, and a lot of people want in on this business, and so I go, sure, I'll do it. You know, we start doing business together. You know what I mean? I try to keep certain contacts with certain people because when you go to certain cities and you don't know the people who run things, bad things can happen to you. For example, I was trying to do classes in Pensa. Apparently, I didn't know the big dogs in that city. What happened? The government tried to deport me. But luckily, I had people backing me that stopped that quick. So if you're a person who's out there wondering, like, oh, Philko ain't shit, you know, he's out there by himself, don't think I'm by myself. Nobody's, that's why I don't know if this guy was the leader of his little nationalist group, whatever the fuck, but when he said that, I was like, this dude is fucking intelligent. And I respected him for it. I almost added him to my friends list. Like, I respected him for it. Like, he was straight up just racist, but he was very fucking intelligent. He knew I wasn't here alone. And it was very intelligent. And depending on who I am, if something happens, you're going to get it back. Because I admit, I said it before in other videos, some people who no one knows, especially when they're black, something can happen to them. No one says anything. It doesn't go on the news because no one cares. They have no connection. They're just some student. Their country's not powerful enough to intimidate Russia. No one cares. But not everyone's in that situation. You know what I mean? And I guess that's really it, man. I mean, yo, I've been around some dangerous people in Russia. That's it. I've been around dangerous people. I'm not here to try to blow up anyone's spot. That means tell on them, give their names, what city. I'm not about that. I'm not going to do that. You know, but I guess this is the first video I made admitting that I have boys in the back room, I guess. You know, police came for me once with the whole deportation thing, and that was cleared up. Then police came for me again. I know you guys were aware of that one. That one was in Tula. Police came for me again. That one was negated in the first day, and we kept doing the classes. What does that tell you? I'm not here by myself. I'll admit it. People see me on camera, they see this little, frail, black American guy who likes to smile. But don't get it twisted, bro. I'm not here by myself. And sometimes I remember I'm not here by myself, and when I need help, I make those calls. They always solve the problem. But you know, when you call certain people to solve problems, most of the time you have to pay them back somehow. So that's always kind of a, you know, kind of a thought that runs through my mind when you call on certain people for help, especially when they're powerful. They may be nice, but they may want help in return, which is understandable. But you know, just, yo, it's crazy, man. Like, I know you guys see me, you hear me laughing, and you always see me with girls and stuff, but there's way more to my stay in Russia than that. There's way more. It depends on what city I'm in, but overall, there's way more to it. But I admit, it's calmed down since, is it like my first year? Yo, that shit was crazy. It's calmed down since, you know what I mean by calm down? I mean, I'm not around that many dangerous people anymore. I mean, we stay in contact, but I'm not around that many dangerous people anymore. You know, so I mean, they still protect and they still look out for me. That's how I avoid trouble every time. There were 4 separate times I could have went to prison here in Russia. 2 times legally, 1 time the government was just tripping. And the other time, not jail, but I could have got 4 different times I could have got in trouble. Either prison or a big fine. All 4 of them were avoided. 4 separate times. You know what I mean? There were 4 times. I made videos about it. First one, you're supposed to register in Russia within the first 3 days of arriving. The first time I registered was after 5 months. Who the fuck you know could register after 5 months of being in Russia? You're supposed to do it 3 days. I did it. Second time, same shit. I registered 2 months late after arriving. And they get money for these arrests and that stuff. But I still registered it. I remember that shit. And that was partially thanks to, one of them was thanks to Olga. Remember Olga? You know, she's a businesswoman. She did her thing. She helped me out and I got out of it. You know, she almost cried and shit. She helped me get out of it, you know. A lot of girls in Russia have a lot of power too. And see, this is another thing. Because this is a long video. I didn't want it to be long, but let me tell you something. There's 2 types of protection I have here. It's either really dangerous men, very fucking dangerous men, or very beautiful and sweet women. I honestly don't know who's done more for me here. It's either the dangerous men or the sweet women. Or the beautiful women. I don't know. If I had to pick one, dude, I'd say it's dead even in the middle. Because they've both done shit when I needed it, just exactly as I needed it. Both sides. So I really don't know the beautiful women or the dangerous men. I don't know. And that's basically it. 2 different types of powers. Sorry I went on so long, but yo, just sometimes, I don't know. I just got to make some calls and talk to some people. Then I really want to make a video while not giving, I want to make some videos about certain people while not giving their identity about what happened. But I want to make sure those people who I'm going to talk about don't mind me talking about it, even though I'm not giving their identity. You understand what I mean? That's what I want to do, because I got some interesting fucking stories dealing with powerful people, man. I'm telling you. And somebody ran into me, this last thing before I go, somebody ran into me from a certain place in Russia This was when I was on my way to, I forgot where I was, but I remember I told Crazy Face right after it happened. Like I'd say within a month, some airport I was in, he ran into me, and it was a blast from my past, but once again, that might bring me back towards something that I haven't been in a while, so I'm out, niggas. Later.